Is my hypothesis that the trillion-dollar companies of three people and mostly code are coming out of Africa. And that's because the largest delta to be filled is kind of this executive cognitive offloading that AI produces and allows people to participate in the bigger systems. And if you look at localizing it, you can say, oh, we can now kind of bridge that gap of kind of local villager up into the we call it the global economic system. And in between there too, there are urbanites within Liberia. And so you can kind of see that I had some choice designs here. Like, you got to think some of the first users would probably be entrepreneurs in that class that have international exposure, that have email accounts, stuff like that. And to say that down in the market that they don't, I mean, they do have the exposure to this technology. Not necessarily AI, I'm assuming at this moment, but that's kind of what we're offering here. So I built this out, a few apps for Liberia specifically, thinking that's going to be the market, at the end of the line for the status quo system, or the ones that are going to be ripe for the next system. So how I built this out is like basically doing onboarding where you have to give your name and stuff. And no, who cares? Mine's Swarm and founder. So then you get a personality assessment. Let's begin. And you'll see this kind of as a commonality here. What I want to do is start to create this interface back and forth that helps you best understand your community. I don't think I've got this. This isn't set up to an LLM right now. This is just the framework of it. I'm trying to see because the way this was built out, yeah, it goes all to the same page. The same idea, I wanted to come in here and I built one out for the Liberian police. That's the same kind of multi-agent framework for the police, and then you have this personality set. All right, so this was for business marketing, to try to build communities of entrepreneurs. This is for the police, and I'll just quickly go through what it's doing here is kind of building a personality profile through 20 questions. And I'm just going to click through this real quick so I can show you that I built it out that as you kind of go through these questions, which are subjective, and a lot of these, it's known that people kind of say what they should, and it's accounted for, and they're still pretty accurate, right? So if I go through here and I just do things like this, it's going to build something that's complementary to my personality style, where I'm good and where I'm bad. All right, so it goes through your dominant traits, stuff like that, then gets through your profile, and then it builds your assistant. There you go. So that's where we start. And here's the idea too, is to allow these apps to evolve. If we start out building their assistant and then allow the kind of the natural relationship between the user and the AI to go, what do they want to build next? Do they just want to do data collection? Do they want to, import all their contacts, do analysis of their phone, of their network and things like that? And then the last one I feel like for Liberia is here. I have all right. So this one is for gold. This is a dashboard and an app that we're sending my business partner in, and this whole idea that we can pull gold directly from the artisanal miners and then help build this pathway from the bush into global markets. So this will be here. This is a text or a map box where we show all the artisanal mines that we work with. Just haven't populated it yet. And then, multi-agent, everybody gets an agent that helps them that we work with. This way we can kind of track, everything that's going on. Miner assistant, regulatory guide. So this is another assistant that helps organize business. And you just go through those, and then marketplaces kind of help with the gold markets. So these are the three I feel like are kind of good quarterstones for a strategy of opening up in Liberia. This would give us a good way of like demand. I imagine these three apps would yield a lot of power or a lot of like market influence, I guess you could say.